Hi everyone, welcome to Unit 6, the final unit. We're almost finished. Promise you just a little more hard work and you're done. For those of you taking COM 350 in the second session, well, you still have a lot more work to do, but it'll be fun with Dr. Linneman. All right, a couple of announcements really quickly. You have a major assignment due this week. It is the Theory and Media paper. You need to do that through Turnitin. It's under assignments. Please pay attention to the prompt for that and the rubric that I've included so that you can kind of see what I'm grading on. It's a little bit bigger of an assignment, so it's sort of like a gigantic scavenger hunt where you're finding a piece of media and you're really kind of going after it. The other thing is that the discussion forum for this week is not a scavenger hunt. It's a different format. I'm asking you to reflect on the communication theories and to sort of say, all right, given what we've read this summer, how could I utilize those in my personal or professional life? So again, a smaller assignment just like all the scavenger hunts, but it's different from the scavenger hunt. All right, the first chapter you're going to be reading is chapter 27 on cultural studies. This is a chapter I could have had you read earlier. However, I think it differs substantially from typical media studies theories, and so Stuart Hall is going to talk a little bit about that in this chapter. And I think it also really is a nice segue into the other chapters that we're going to be looking at this week. I'm also going to have you look at a really small article on Marxism. That I think you'll see why I'm having you do that, kind of look at that in terms of how that impacts cultural studies and then how it's going to impact the other two chapters that we're reading for this week. In terms of cultural studies, I want you to pay attention again to the difference between media studies and cultural studies. I also want you to be thinking about this idea of ideology, and then what is hegemony and what does the theory of hegemony say about how ideology functions. The other thing that's kind of cool about this chapter is that it references Dr. Luke Winslow's work on the TV show Extreme Makeover. And Dr. Winslow is one of our faculty members, and he has been for about 2 years now. So I think that's really exciting. It's a great essay. If you're interested in reading it, I can show you where to find that. But that's kind of cool. And it's, again, I think it's a great essay to highlight the kind of work that gets done in cultural studies. All right, the other thing is you're going to be reading chapter 35 on standpoint theory. Here's a theory that's derived largely from feminist theory, but it really does resonate, I think, with any marginalized population, thinking about how our social positions, whether it be socioeconomic, racial or ethnic, sexual orientation, any of those, how they ultimately shape how we see the world and how we actually negotiate through the world. So I think that that's going to be a nice chapter for you. And we would go further into that if you take my course, COM 452, in the fall on gender and interaction. But again, I think you can utilize that to think about a lot of different things. Then you're going to go into muted group theory. There's actually a nice little video with Sherry Kramer talking about muted group theory, but thinking about the ways in which communication itself has been structured by men. And so thinking about theorizing the ways in which, how can we make those changes? How can we change things so that communication can be a tool for change? And for understanding how particular perspectives are marginalized by communication. So I think that's a very important chapter. Then I'm going to have you look at that little quick section on integration, and then we're going to bring it all together with chapter 37, which is the sort of final chapter, bringing it all together, common threads. And I want you to be paying attention to, what is the commonality? Because communication as a discipline is a huge discipline. There's a lot of different things going on, as you can see from just the 6 short weeks that we've been together. A lot of different types of theories, a lot of different ways of studying communication. So this chapter hopefully will kind of explain what are some of the commonalities. How do we consider ourselves a common discipline? So, go ahead, read, do a good job of reading. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to shoot me an email. I'll also be holding various office hours this week, so I'm going to post those in an announcement on Blackboard for you. Good luck this week. Bring it all together. Work really hard this week because you're just about finished. Hope you're all doing great, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.